Hello, my name is Jalen Galloway, and the question I'm going to be discussing with you today is if prescription drugs should be directly advertised to consumers. Direct-to-consumer advertising of prescription drugs is only legal in two countries across the entire globe, and the United States is one of them. And I'm here today to convince you that the direct-to-consumer advertising of prescription drugs misinforms patients, intrudes on the relationship between the physician and the patient, and stigmatizes normal health conditions. First, let's take a look at my opposition. My opposition claims that direct-to-consumer advertising helps to better inform consumers about health problems and treatments, and 44% of patients and 48% of doctors agreed with this. And seeing and listening to the ads exposes the consumers to more information about their health and increases their knowledge about the drugs and treatments for various medical conditions. Also, the consumer awareness of conditions and treatments dramatically increases because of the high volume of ads that are seen on TV or heard on the radio. But evidence shows that most of the ads for prescription drugs are misleading, and the ads often feature well-known actors and celebrities, and that increases the likelihood that consumers will ask about the drug or start using the drug. And 63% of physicians believe that prescription drug ads misinform patients, and 74% of them believe that the ads overemphasize the benefits of the drugs. And between the years 2008 and 2010, 60% of drugs aired in these ads left out important information, exaggerated information, provided opinions, or made meaningless associations with lifestyles. And not only were 55% of the claims misleading, but 2% of them were actually false. And therefore, the ads leave consumers to make their own decisions about what is real and what is not. My opposition also claims that direct-to-consumer advertising encourages people to talk to their doctors, and 64% of physicians agree with that. And ads especially increase the likelihood of low-income and low-education level patients to visit their doctors, and that's important because these people usually don't have the time or the money to go to the doctor, or they don't find those things. But the ads help play a role in patients taking responsibility for their own health care, and it's been proved that when patients play a role in choosing the drugs they take, they're more likely to take them and use them the right way. However, directly advertising drugs to consumers intrudes on the relationship between the physician and the patient, and 80% of doctors agree with this. The ads encourage the use of expensive and sometimes even unnecessary medications, and when doctors deny the request for drugs seen in ads, it weakens the relationship between the doctor and the patient. 50% of patients who were denied a drug said that they were disappointed with their doctors, and 25% spent time trying to convince their doctors to prescribe them the drug even after the doctors said no originally. And 15% of the people said that they would change doctors if the doctors denied their requests. That kind of shows that there's a clear problem, because doctors are supposed to be someone you can trust, and they're supposed to help make the best health decisions for you. And direct-to-consumer advertising also makes doctors and nurses feel pressured to give people certain drugs that they ask for, and 71% of family physicians agreed that the ads pressured them into prescribing drugs that they wouldn't normally prescribe, and 94% of oncology nurses had a patient request an advertised drug, and 74 of them were not appropriate, but the patients made 43% of the nurses feel pressured into prescribing the drugs. And that's scary figures, because if the doctors feel pressured to prescribe inappropriate drugs, they could be putting lives in danger. Finally, my most important argument is that direct-to-consumer advertising stigmatizes normal health conditions. The ads often tell consumers that normal attributes are conditions that need to be remedied. Some of these include thinner eyelashes, lower testosterone, and wrinkles. These conditions are all normal with age, but direct-to-consumer drug ads often promote drugs to fix these attributes, and this is really unhealthy for people to see because it makes them believe something is wrong with them and promotes unsafe medications to undo normal things. I realize I've covered a lot of ground today, so let me review. Direct-to-consumer advertising of prescription drugs is only legal in two countries across the globe, one of them being the United States. The opposition claims that direct-to-consumer advertising helps inform patients and encourage people to talk to their doctors, but in reality, most of the ads are misleading and intrude on the relationship between the physician and the patient. They also are dangerous because they make normal health conditions look like something is wrong. These reasons are enough to show why the United States should follow the lead of other countries across the globe and ban direct-to-consumer advertising of prescription drugs. Reflecting on my video, I think that my topic had a high interest level for people of all ages. I think that I addressed this audience by talking about different groups of people, such as people with different education levels, income levels. I talked about people who visited family physicians and people who dealt with oncology nurses. My support material was very strong, and I used good transitions throughout my entire video, and I think that my body was the strongest part of my video because it provided all the persuasive evidence, and I used a lot of statistics that helped to prove my central idea by showing why direct-to-consumer advertising is so bad. Throughout my video, I had a good approach using the method of showing my opposition, then my counter-argument, and going back and forth between those two things. I think I used good eye contact, good volume, a good speaking rate, but I did have some speaking errors just due to me being so nervous. I believe that I also used good posture, and I was enthusiastic about my topic throughout the video and clearly showed the opinion I formed after completing the research that I did. And I think I also wrapped up my video well by stating that I believe direct-to-consumer advertising of prescription drugs should be banned in the US, just like it is in almost every other country across the globe.